Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
I thought of you.
La, la.
Last night was a Craig Carton dream. Why?
Yeah, Islanders clinched advancement to the next round.
That is correct. 29 is the magic number. Do you know what that number means?
29 is the magic number.
29 is the magic number. You ready?
I thought 3 was the magic number. That's what De La Soul told me years ago. But go ahead, feel free. What is 29?
14 runs by the Mets, 9 runs by the Yankees, 6 goals by the New York Islanders. It was an offensive explosion last night for New York sports and a clean sweep.
Yeah, that's why New York's the greatest place on earth, right? And we'll get to the Islanders today. We're reaching out to the Nicole Revive. She's the gal that sang the national anthem and allowed the crowd to help her. And sometimes things just bother me for the wrong reason. Anyway, so we reached out to the Islanders because she does a lot of their games.
Yes.
Right.
She's like the anthem singer for the New York Islanders.
So I figured this is an opportunity for us to embrace what the Islanders did, embrace the goodness of advancing to the semifinals for the second consecutive year.
That's right.
All right. And potentially closing out the building with a Stanley Cup championship. That's on the table.
Say that one more time.
Potentially closing out the building with a Stanley Cup championship.
I love 2021.
Yeah.
This may be my favorite year ever.
Could
Still
be.
a lot to be written.
Yeah.
But so far, what a freaking year.
So I tell Tommy, reach out to the Islanders because they obviously know who the gal is, Nicole Revive. And I reach out to her on social media.
I saw you doing so.
Right?
Yes.
So the answer back was to Tommy, she's not available. Like, what? Like, can't we ever get anything right all the way through? She's not available? Like, I would have her on a street corner right now for anybody that wants to talk to her. She's not available. So we're reaching out. We're trying to get her on because I thought last night was a great moment as she started to sing the anthem. She does a great job at it. And then 18,000 people did it.
So it was a return.
It was awesome.
It was a return the favor moment because on Saturday at Nassau Coliseum, towards the end of the national anthem, the microphones went out.
They cut out.
Okay? So the crowd, because Long Island knows how to sing, stepped up and finished the anthem. So I think last night was her way of saying thank you. Now do the whole national anthem. It was a very cool moment because, and I know you feel this way, hearing
it sounded great.
Thousands of people sing the national anthem is one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, I think it was planned actually because the PA announcer did come out at the beginning and say, "Let's sing it together." So I do think what she did last night was planned. But, man, listen, when you got a stranglehold, which they rarely do, not their fault, on the New York sports fan, never let go of that. Embrace that. And I think John Ledecky always does. He's great at it. He's the owner. And he was amongst the people last night when they had the empty net goal and the game was clinched and all that stuff. And he's been phenomenal. But right now, the New York Islanders, even more than the Nets, more than the Yankees and the Mets, right now in the moment, have a stranglehold for the day. That's going to be gone tomorrow because other things come up. But right now in the moment, the Islanders have it. So I would embrace that, and I would make sure you get to as many people as you can because what they're doing is great. And that's for me, a guy that doesn't even like hockey. So when you tell me that the anthem singer's not available, why? And I know it's a separate little small issue. It's just stupid to me because it was great last night. And if you're an Islander fan, congratulations.
Brock
you're 8 wins away.
Nelson is a closer. I never thought I'd say that. He's a big game player. With that second period, he dominated. That was outstanding last night. And now it's about revenge. Because
Tampa Bay,
may
right?
not know this, Craig, but a year ago in what was the Eastern Conference Finals, this year it's the semifinals, they went toe-to-toe with the Tampa Bay Lightning. They went toe-to-toe with those evil bastards. And now they get their second crack. I don't know when game one is yet. They haven't announced the schedule.
Yeah, God forbid they let people know.
I mean, I can't wait to see it because I know I need to get out to the barn for one of these games. But it's incredible because they didn't have a great regular season. And they've turned it on here in the postseason. They've been disrespected the entire time, even though you want to not believe that. And it's continued. They're heavy underdogs against the Lightning. They're not supposed to beat them. Okay.
Good. Go beat them now.
Bring it on.
Yeah. I will say this. When you see a game like last night, right, it does make you wonder, why do they always want to leave that building? Like, that building is great. The crowd is great. And I recognize your money's a big part of it.
Well, there it is.
And luxury suites and all that stuff. And, I before I went away, I was heavily involved with the former owners of Nassau Coliseum and the Islanders and all that stuff, and the Barclay people at the time who had a piece of everything. So I'm aware of the shortcomings, quote unquote, of the building.
But those shortcomings can be fixed.
Well, the sweet part can't.
No,
That's the problem.
No, but let's go back a few more years. They should have rebuilt a true NHL arena at the site of the Nassau Coliseum.
Yeah, well,
that's it. That's what should have happened.
And listen, I respect the fact that they're moving. It's done, so I'm not arguing.
And the
anymore.
arena looks beautiful, and I'm hopeful that electricity that we have at the Coliseum will remain at Belmont because people are people, Craig.
Yeah.
If the same people are filling up Belmont,
well, then it'll be the same.
Then it's going to be the same.
I don't know that always happens. And listen,
has that happened at City and Yankee Stadium?
I think Yankee Stadium's different than old Yankee Stadium. 100% different. You ask anyone that
I agree with you. No, I agree with you.
You've been to enough big games there.
Has City Field felt the same?
City Field compared to Shea? No,
Yes.
it doesn't.
I think here's where I you're right, but I half disagree with you. I think there have been moments at City Field and Yankee Stadium where it has felt like the old
if you
place.
want to tell me there have been some singular moments, yes. I agree with that.
So
yes, that's fair.
So it's in the building. You know what I mean? Like, it can happen.
Yeah.
Because it's the people that make the noise. And if the people are the same and we're still going to Belmont or we're still going to Yankee Stadium or City Field, then we should make it sound the same.
I don't know if it's different because we're nostalgic about the older buildings. But like you, I've been blessed and fortunate enough to be at major events in all the buildings. And it's a great gift to be able to do that, of course. Yankee Stadium is different, even with 40+ thousand people in the building. There have been some moments for sure. Citi Field to me, which I think is a great baseball park. I do. I love Citi Field. And it's a great improvement, obviously, over Shea Stadium. And maybe because there have been less moments for Mets since Citi Field was built.
Here's the thing.
It's different.
But, Craig, you hit on it. It's all about nostalgia. And I'll give you a specific example. I'll do the Yankees first, C-Mac, for you as a Yankee fan.
Big Mac, you would agree. You've been to both, obviously. As great a replica as the current Yankee Stadium is to old Yankee Stadium, because that's what it is.
Right.
It's different. You feel it, right?
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now let me give you a specific moment.
Yeah.
When Didi Gregorius hit that home run in the wild card game against the Minnesota
Place
Twins,
was rocked.
nobody can tell me that that's not as loud as it gets.
Completely agree with you.
Okay, so that's my point.
So
that
you're
there
saying it's
are
possible.
moments.
We're failing ourselves is what you're saying.
Look, I agree that there have been moments at City and Yankee where you look around and say it's not the old place. But I just gave you a specific moment at Yankee Stadium in which I would argue with anybody that was in the building that's as loud as it gets. Same thing with the Mets in 2015 during their run, where it gets as loud as humanly possible. But you hit on it. It's nostalgia. We have a nostalgia for the places that we grew up with. I grew up with Shea Stadium. C-Mac grew up with Yankee Stadium. I've grown up with Nassau Coliseum.
Yep.
The new arenas still have that ability to move and have soul and get loud, but we're always going to remember our childhood and growing up, and we're going to tell ourselves, that was better and that was louder.
Yeah, I guess like my kids, your kids, Big Mac's kids, they'll grow up with these as their buildings. Belmont will be the building for the next generation of Islander fans. But seeing it last night, made me wonder again. And I get it. I know all the specifics of it. I don't want to debate it. I don't. We won't take your calls on it either. There's nothing wrong with the Coliseum. There's nothing wrong from a fan standpoint with the Coliseum. Nothing.
When you're sitting in your seat, there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
When you leave your seat, there's something wrong with it.
That's because my sausage and pepper stand is no longer there.
Right.
And that's my fault, no one else's.
Right.
But goddamn it, there used to be a Craig Carton sausage stand there.
I was thinking about this last night. In 2016, the New York Islanders won a round of the playoffs for the first time in 23 years. They won a game at Barclays Center that was coached by Capuano, in which Tavares got the game-winning goal.
Right.
I got to tell you, Islander, I wish that didn't happen because this is the Islanders. Nassau Coliseum, Barry Trotz, and a guy like Brock Nelson. Like, that run in 2016 feels so foreign because, and the key word, forget about Capuano and Tavares, Brooklyn. They didn't belong there.
Yeah, well, Brooklyn didn't want him there either.
Right. They're a Long Island team. So last night felt so genuine and so real and so awesome. And
I mean, what was crazy about Brooklyn, and I was in his office, I heard the words come out of his mouth. Brooklyn hated the Islanders. The Brooklyn executives that ran the building and ran everything at Nassau Coliseum and at Barclays Center.
Well, guess what?
Legitimately, They treated the Islanders like they didn't exist.
Well, guess what, Craig?
Yeah.
Islander fans, and look, I'm obviously a Net fan too, but I can say this. Islander fans, including myself, hated Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Because they didn't belong there.
Yeah.
Like, they are Long Island's team. And Belmont, and I can't wait to get into that building next year, will feel, I think, and I guess we'll find out when it happens, similar to Nassau Coliseum. It will feel like they belong there. But, man, last night that place moved.
Yep,
You can sense it
congratulations.
through the TV, and it was awesome.
It started off, they were playing when the Saints come marching home in the parking lot. I put the video out, and they culminate with a huge win. Now, obviously, the big story yesterday, which in a weird way became a non-story, but it's still floating out there. That, of course, is that the Yankees blew out the Twins again, and Garrett Cole pitched very well. He was not dominant, but
Gave up 2 home runs.
Won 6 innings. But mano a mano, he struck out Josh Donaldson twice. Okay, great. Did not throw at him. Ooh, he stared him down once. Comical. And I'm going to tell you something right now. And I want to be very clear about this. And I'm going to tell Aaron Boone when he joins us later today, which is, I think, around 5 o'clock or thereabouts. So once we have an exact time, the guys will tell us. We'll let you know when Aaron Boone's going to join us, all right? Just because the Yankees blew out, 9-6, but blew out the Twins again.
Those runs late.
Yeah, I agree. Just because the Yankees have now won back-to-back games, as they were expected to, right? Against a lesser opponent, they have not found their soul. I didn't watch.
How do they find their soul?
I didn't watch last night's game and say to myself, "Oh, Stan hit 2 home runs. The Yankees are back." Because I don't feel that way.
Why? Because it was the Twins?
Yes.
Because it was Randy Dobnik?
Yeah, they beat a bad pitcher and a bad team.
How have the Yankees?
And I don't feel like the Yankees when I woke up this morning are one bit different than the Yankee team that slumped their shoulders and walked in there like Eeyore, the donkey.
When the New York Yankees were scoring a ton of runs in 2019 and 2018, who were they hitting them off of?
They were hitting them off the pitchers they were playing against.
So what's the problem?
The problem is that I'm not gonna take the bait this time.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be this. I'm not gonna be a sucker.
But wait a second. There's two things here, Craig. You're not taking the bait because you don't think this is now going to become a consistent thing, or you're not going to take the bait because you're still pissed off that they didn't do anything about Josh Donaldson.
Very good question, Evan.
Thank you.
Both.
Both.
Yes.
The first part is fine, by the way.
The Yankees
obviously
did nothing to the Astros and Altuve.
Okay.
The Yankees did nothing to Josh Donaldson, and that now includes and is led by Garrett Cole. The Yankees have no soul. And until they put together some type of legitimate month of baseball where they play really good defense, where they hit behind runners, where they...
No. You want home runs. Who are you kidding?
I'm not done. I was going on a little...
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I was in the middle... That's like... if you were Lincoln's speech advisor, we never would have gotten the great speech.
Yeah, but you're making a speech that contradicts half the stuff you've said
I
so
would have
far.
been like, 4 score. And you'd have been like, 4 scores only 2 weeks. And I would have been like, I'm not done.
I know, but you're on a tirade about hitting behind runners. Go ahead.
I was getting to a point of...
Lay down a sacrifice bunt.
Just because the Yankees beat the Twins,
right?
I'm not gonna take the bait. I'm not going to be a smallmouth bass waiting for that shiny little thing and grab it, because I've done that this year. And every time I've done it, they've come back and let me down. So I'm not in yet. But you have to earn.
No. That part is fair because the Yankees have to hit consistently, of course. I don't think any Yankee fan is going to look at 2 games against the Twins and say, okay, great, they're back. They're going to say, that's great. You got to beat these kinds of teams.
I'm happy they won.
Of course.
But I'm not buying it yet.
But you even said boring baseball coming up tonight. Was last night boring?
Last night was boring.
Why? They gave you runs.
Because
what do you want?
Josh Donaldson got up there, and Garrett Cole treated him like he was another batter.
Yeah, he struck his ass out.
Ooh, he struck him out.
Well, hold on a second.
Ooh, tough guy.
Andujar, Giancarlo twice, and Judge all hit home runs. Giancarlo hit a bomb to center field.
Yeah, and
Judge
I wish
hit
he
a
wasn't
home run
playing.
early. And you and C-Mac both said he shouldn't play. At least I said Gary should play over Higashioka. And that's not entertaining to you? Then what the hell do you want?
Soul.
What is soul?
What is soul?
You got to have soul.
What is soul, Evan?
What is soul?
It's a very good question. I'm glad you asked me that question because a lot of people don't know it.
I'm asking a lot of good questions today, apparently.
You'll know soul when you see it. It's an intangible.
Okay.
They don't have it.
But Craig, if
this
they
team
go,
has no personality.
If they go to Philadelphia,
go ahead,
and hit
when does that happen?
That's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Great, good.
And they hit 8 home runs at Citizens Bank Park,
which they might,
along with sweeping Minnesota. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, 5-game winning streak. They're scoring a lot of runs.
Right?
Do they have a soul?
No, not just based on winning. No.
So it's not based on winning?
It's not. You can have a soul
It's not
and lose.
based on hitting home runs? Then what do you want? You want blood?
I'll let you know when I see it.
But you're not going to get that.
Well, then the Yankees have no soul.
Craig, I'm not defending
him.
I'm just giving you the reality. Garrett Cole was never going to hit Josh Donaldson as much as you said it days ago. They were never going to hit Jose Altuve and the Astros. They're not going to do it.
By the way, I want to be clear about what I said. I said throw behind him or, aim for his ass. Right. I want to be clear about what I was advocating.
Okay.
And unlike some people say something and then claim I'm not advocating it because you have no backbone at all, I am advocating and suggesting that you throw right behind Donaldson's head or his body or his ass and you send a message.
And by the way, to your point,
I want to be clear
Craig,
about that.
You also made that point, if I'm not mistaken, let me check my calendar because I write things down, on Friday.
Yeah. Well, because I'm way ahead of the curve on that, Evan. Listen, the fact that all these Johnny-come-latelys come up now suggesting that Garrett Cole should have thrown in the direction of Josh Donaldson, but I'm not advocating it, but I would do it. Pick your poison, Ace. Is comical to me.
Would it make you feel better if in late August, when the Twins come back to Yankee Stadium, then Garrett Cole decides, all right, no one's expecting it, I'm going to drill Josh Donaldson?
At that point, you can make the argument it's too late.
Why?
But throw at him. Like, to me, I hold grudges. It's something I'm trying to get over.
I understand. I see.
And I have a tough time getting over it. And it's a personality flaw of mine. Mm-hmm. I used to be quite proud of it. But I've been told in therapy that holding grudges and being vindictive is not a healthy way to live.
Right.
It's like the last mountain for me to climb.
Right.
I own being a compulsive gambler. I own the fact that I made terrible mistakes in my life. I did things that I regret doing. And I'm trying to make good on them. The last hurdle for me is the vindictive gene I have.
So that vindictive gene that you have is keeping you from embracing the New York Yankees, because the two things that have pissed you off the most outside of their struggles has been not being vindictive against the Astros.
That's right.
And not being vindictive against Josh Donaldson.
That's right.
So those things are keeping you from fully putting your arms around this Yankee team.
Because by not doing it, you have no soul. That's exactly right. And I will admit, and I've been told in many therapy rooms over the last couple of years, I remember it specifically, I was in therapy at a rehab center in Prescott, Arizona. And I said, I consider it a badge of honor to be vindictive and hold a grudge. I'm proud of how I am in the fact that I never forget who has wronged me. And the therapist wasn't happy with me. He thought I wasn't being conducive to positive thinking. Oh, yeah. But you got to be honest and real in those settings.
And now you're taking that out on Garrett Cole.
I
saying,
am.
You're not vindictive enough.
Yeah.
I don't care that you dominated for 6 innings.
Right.
Blank you.
And that, I didn't say blank you.
Almost.
I almost.
Almost.
Came close.
Okay.
Like, I was so bothered by the fact that he didn't stick up for himself. Because that's how I view it.
You don't think striking him out does that?
No. I think it's great that he did, obviously. And Donaldson was 0 for 5, so fantastic, of course, from a baseball standpoint.
Sure.
But I'm not going to lie to you. I was so bothered, personally, that he didn't try to get retribution that, frankly, it stained my enjoyment of the win.
They hit 4 home runs, including the big guys.
I couldn't
Judge
enjoy
and
it.
Stanton.
I couldn't
and
enjoy
you couldn't
it.
have a good time?
I'm sorry.
He dialed up multiple 100-mile-per-hour fastballs against Josh Donaldson. He only threw 4 the entire game.
Yeah.
2 of them were against Josh Donaldson.
I get it.
He gave him a stare after he struck him out. That's not enough for you?
It wasn't.
Okay.
I just got to keep it clean.
No, I want you to keep
I'm
it
not
clean.
going to lie to you.
I'm asking you a question.
Am I happy they won? Of course I am. Am I happy they have now won back-to-back games and scored runs and hit home runs, which is what this team is built to do? Of course I am. But they robbed me of the joy of the win because they don't have the gene that a lot of us were born with. And that's the gene of, I'm getting even with you. I'm going to hold the grudge until I get even with you. And I'm sorry. I know it's not a great personality trait. I'm not suggesting it is. But it's one I have. and they robbed me of
But
joy.
Craig, ultimately, and look, maybe this is just
That's
where
why
we
I've always
differ.
said I love the Islanders.
Well, guess what? The Islanders are looking for revenge, and you just started
The
loving the
Islanders
Islanders.
have soul.
They're looking for revenge against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I don't need it by punching Victor Hedman in the face.
I don't know who that is.
I need it. He's a really good player.
Okay.
I need
It's
it
a
by
strange name for a human being, isn't it? Hedman. That must be a European name, right?
I need it
Hedman.
by them beating the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I bet you that means
That's what I want.
That means his family back in the day were probably royalty, right? His dad, his great-great-grandfather was probably the head man of some kind of religious
Is that how
cult
he got the name
in
of it?
Ireland or something? And the term head man became the family name.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
When the New York Mets face the Dodgers in
Like,
August
you
and
got-
Trevor Bauer's pitching,
Yeah.
my revenge
Yeah.
is not by hitting him.
Yeah.
It's not by booing him. It's by the Mets kicking his ass
Yeah.
all over Citi
Well,
Field.
I agree.
So that, no, you don't.
I do.
You don't agree.
You have no reason to hit Trevor Bauer.
No. My form of revenge
Yeah.
is ass kicking.
Well, in the
My
Trevor...
form of revenge against Joel Embiid, who took cheap shots at Jared Allen 2 years ago, even though he's not on the team anymore, is to beat the Sixers' ass.
Different. You're
Why is
comparing
it
apples
different?
to oranges.
I want to beat the Lightning. I want to beat the Sixers.
Yeah.
I want to beat Bauer. The best revenge is defeating them.
Not all the
The
time.
best revenge against the Astros is getting them in the playoffs and beating them.
Sorry, sir.
Why?
Each case is very unique and independent of one
All of
another.
those? Yankees,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Embiid,
The Bauer
the Lightning.
story, and we got to take a quick break. The Bauer story is, yes, beat him. Scored 10 runs against him.
Okay, that's okay.
100%.
All right.
There's no reason to throw at Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer left your team at the altar, blah, blah, blah. We know the story. So the way to get back at Trevor Bauer is to drop a 9 spot on him.
Right.
I agree. We'll explain the others coming up. We got lots to do today. Glad to have you here. 877-337-6666. Listen, all good, right? Who's not in a good mood today? I'm in a good mood. Evan's in a good mood.
I'm in an amazing mood.
And hopefully you are too.
Let me know at 10:30. I may not be in a good mood, but right now, all is good with the world.